Third of four straight between the Rockford Rivets and Madison Mallards from the Duck Pond in Madison, Wisconsin. Time running out on that first half title chase for the Rivets. They sit 3 back with 6 to play. Every win crucial in trying to win 2 straight on the road. Headed back to Rockford tomorrow. Welcome in, everybody, to the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. I'm Andre Magaro. Happy you could join us from the Duck Pond at Warner Park. The Madison Mallards set to host the Rockford Rivets tonight. Madison, a record of 14-16 Rivets, winning last night's contest 4-2 to get back to a record of 500 on the season. We'll take you through the lineups tonight. We'll start with the Rockford Rivets and how they line up 1 through 9 under head coach J.T. Scara. Very similar lineup to the Rivets from last night's contest. You have Cam McDonald in the leadoff spot once again, batting from the right side. Then it's the left-handed hitting first baseman Ben Brantley. Right-handed bat of Nick DeMarco in his second game in a Rockford uniform stays in the 3-hole. Ty Krittenberger did not play in last night's contest. He's back in the lineup tonight, hitting from the right side in the cleanup spot. Right behind him, Matthew Mebane, the lowest he's batted in the order this season. He'll hit 5th and play left field tonight. We'll see how he gets on in the outfield for the second time this season. Brody Harding, the left-handed hitting middle infielder, homered last night. He moves over from short to second base tonight. Bottom third of the right-handed hitting Drew Baker, the lefty Dylan Robertson tonight's DH, and the switch hitting shortstop Jeffrey Ince. Round things out 1 through 9 for the Rockford Rivets. They're opposed by the right-hander on the mound, Mitchell Leroy. Leroy's been solid this season for the Mallards, but used primarily in a relief role. Has yet to start a game this season. He's given up 6 earned runs through 9 innings of work, 10 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, an ERA even at 6, and a record of 1-0. Features a full arsenal. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. In the Northwoods League, though, for Leroy, it's been primarily fastball slider. Makes up 85% of his arsenal. The heater sits high 80s to low 90s for the lanky right-hander on the bump tonight for the Madison Mallards. Give you the defense behind him. J.J. Roland makes his first appearance of the series out in center field. Marcus Brodell slides over to right field, and you got Scott Shaw out in left. Noah Smith returns to his perch at third base tonight. Nick Gonzalez and J.T. Mabry, the usual suspects in the middle infield. Elias Stevens goes over to first base after DHing in his Mallards debut last night. Christian Rivera, he's been plugging first base pretty well for the Mallards in this series defensively. He stops behind the plate to catch Leroy tonight. Mallards in their typical home white uniforms. They've got the baby blue letters and scripting over their chest with white caps with the blue M logo on top, the blue brim of those caps as well. Rockford in their road graphites with the black pinstripes, gold numbers and lettering blocked and outlined in black. Beautiful night for baseball. Mid-80s outside, a little bit of a breeze blowing left to right across the field, but wind not having too much of an impact in pregame warm-ups. Not a cloud in the sky. Perfect weather for some baseball as Cam McDonald nestles into the righty box, and we are set to go here from Madison. Leroy, the high leg kick in the delivery, working exclusively out of the stretch. His fastball darts inside on McDonald at 6:36 local time. McDonald's 4th game in the leadoff position for the Rockford Rivets. Through 15 games, he's hitting .242, a homer and 14 runs batted in. Hits in 5 straight for McDonald. It's his longest hitting streak so far this season. 1 for 5 last night and had a 2 RBI single early on in last night's game to give the Rivets their early lead. Now RBI in 8 of 15 games for the Illinois outfielder. Here's a pitch from Leroy. It's tight again on McDonald, who jumps out of the way in the right-handed batter's box. 2-1 the count. .363 hitter this season for the Illini in 53 games. Very persistent bat and one that is heating up as of late for the Rivets. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Leroy pauses at the top of his delivery before firing in a strike on the outer third. A fastball that's out. Tall, lanky righty, 6'3", 200 pounds, the junior right-hander from Lutz. Peers in for his signs from the catcher Rivera. Comes set at the belt. Arches his back and delivers the 2-2 pitch. McDonald, looping shot into center field. It'll get down on one hop in front of Roland. Rockford a leadoff base hit here in the first inning. And McDonald extends his hitting streak to 6 games now. He's hit safely in every game this series. Aboard for Ben Brantley. Really good piece of hitting for McDonald, who's used the opposite field and the middle of the field with a lot more consistency. Got all fastballs and that AB from Leroy and squared one up in a 2-2 count. He's on first base. Ben Brantley into the left-handed batter's box. Brantley no hits yet in this series. First pitch from Leroy is a fastball. Splits the plate for strike one. 0 for 7 is Ben. Does have 3 walks. Has also been robbed 3 times. Has hit 3 balls really sharply down the first base line in this series. All 3 were gloved by Rivera, who's behind the dish tonight. We'll see if Stevens can have some similar success for the Mallards. He's holding on the runner right now. Brantley down the line. And it just hooks foul. Stevens was holding on the runner, so had to twist his body back towards the line to try to field that one. It just kicks off the chalk foul. Could have been extra bases for Brantley. Instead, down in the count, 0-2. Ben, a .333 hitter this season through 16 games. 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. It's an 11 of his 15 starts. Casts the bat out over home plate. Now wiggles it atop his left shoulder. Leroy sets the belt. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate. Good take from Brantley. And a 2-strike count as it misses low. Again, not a lot in the off-speed arsenal from Leroy, particularly against left-handers. Hasn't thrown a lot of change-ups yet this summer. We'll see what he does here with 2 strikes to Ben Brantley. Infield a double play depth for the Mallards. Hole on the left side for Brantley. He can go the other way. Instead takes upstairs on the off-speed. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. .43 at-bats for the infielder from Louisiana Tech. Just 6 hits in the spring season. Next pitch is grounded foul over top of the Rivets dugout. Count stays at 2-2. The playing time was sparing for Brantley this season. That's why he's since entered the transfer portal since coming to Rockford. And boy, has he been a persistent bat in this Rivets lineup. .500 on-base percentage. Definitely making an impression. Trying to find himself a new home. They'll check on the runner in McDonald, who hasn't tried to go yet. He's back with the head-first dive. Cam, not your prototypical leadoff hitter, not necessarily the most aggressive base stealer. He does have 4 and 5 attempts so far this summer. A little more pace to burn than he showcased at Illinois this spring. Aggressive 3-step lead. Stevens still holding him on over at first with the high yellow socks. Now in the 2-2 to Brantley. Swinging and a foul tip off the leg pad of Rivera. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Your umpires in this one tonight behind home plate calling balls and strikes is Jonathan Rector. Adam Morkin slides over to third base. John Pullen, the crew chief, is at first. Crowd still filing in here at the duck pond to the dark green seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Brantley, ground ball over to second on a couple hops. Mayberry goes over to second for 1. Gonzalez relays in time. Just like that, a 4-6-3 double play. Leadoff single is erased for the Rivets. There's 2 outs and nobody on for Nick DeMarco. Rockford gets a piece of their own medicine there. They turned 3 double plays last night behind their pitching staff. 2 of those behind starter Tyra Barczyk, who was tremendous through 7 innings for the Rivets. But that time, Brantley bounces into the 4-6-3 twin killing. And here's DeMarco. Just the second game in the Northwoods League for the Notre Dame product. 1 for 5 in his debut yesterday with a single and a strikeout. First pitch, rare off speed as the curveball is dropped in over the inner third for strike 1. DeMarco, 2021 Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year. Played sparingly for the Irish in their run to Omaha in the College World Series. He shies away inside from the curveball. The count's even at 1-1. .423 average. Time at St. Charles. 11 home runs, 38 RBIs in his senior season. Also stole 28 bags. 1-1 pitch from Leroy, looking for a 1-2-3 frame. First fastball DeMarco sees is ankle height, and he's taken for ball 2. But DeMarco on top of that was a force on the mound in the high school ranks. 43 innings, a 1.30 ERA. Reason why Notre Dame recruited him as a 2-way player, and we'll likely see some innings with him on the mound this summer trying to work as a pitcher. 2-1 pitch, fastball grounded over to shortstop. Gonzalez has to come charging in, plucks it off the top of his left boot, slings it over to first in time to retire DeMarco and the side. An efficient 1-2-3 inning for Mitchell Leroy on the hill. Rockford goes down quietly, and it's after the first. We'll step aside here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Tanner Knight on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. He's set to face the Mallards tonight. Scoreless through half an inning from the Duck Pond. Rivets looking to win 2 straight on the road. Here's your Madison batting lineup. Left-handed hitting center fielder J.J. Roland leads things off for the Mallards. And it's Marcus Brodell from the left side before Scott Shaw introduces 3 straight lefties in Donnie Scott's lineup. All right-handed the rest of the way. Peyton Smith in the cleanup spot. Christian Rivera 5th. Noah Smith 6th. Elias Stevens behind him. JT Mabry 8th. And Nick Gonzalez rounds it out at 9th. As we said, opposed by Tanner Knight on the mound for the Rivets. His second start of the summer, hoping it goes better than his inaugural one in Kenosha last Thursday. Gave up 4 earned runs through 3 innings, threw 62 pitches, and was hit very, very hard. His first pitch is a fastball up and away to Roland. Counts 1-0 to Madison's leadoff hitter. Again, Roland's first action of the series did not play the first 2 games of the set. 300 hitter through 19 games, a home run, 14 runs batted in. He turns on this one down the right field line, chasing after it McDonald. One hops off the base of the wall and right. McDonald tries to barehand it, stumbles for a minute. Roland into second base standing, and the throw gets away from the shortstop Ince. All the way over to the cutout in left field. Roland never stopped running, and he's on third base to lead things off for the Mallards. McDonald went to barehand the baseball. There's a fencing area down the line in right field where there's field level seating on the first of 4 levels in the duck blind, a 4-storied seating area down the right field line. McDonald tried to barehand it off the fencing, bobbled it momentarily, then rushed his throw into second that got away from Ince and went all the way into left field. McDonald threw it across the diamond. That gave Roland an extra base. Infield's back for the Rivets. This is a hard hit ground ball to second base. Harding throws it over to first to complete the out of Brodell. But with the infield back for the Rivets, Roland comes home to score. And just like that, on 3 pitches, Madison takes a 1-0 lead. So in the time it takes us to get the stat line out for Tanner Knight in his first start, he's already conceded a run here in the first, albeit not helped out from the defense behind him, as Roland comes home to score, and it's 1-0 Mallards here in the first. So the base is now empty with 1 down. It's scored as a double with an error in that regard. Advancing him to third and then scoring on the ground out. First pitch, a called strike to Scott Shaw. Shaw, the 3-hole hitter tonight for Madison, has hit all around this lineup so far in the series, as Knight is outside with a fastball. It counts now even. Shaw, the lefty hitter from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 278 average, 6 doubles, 11 runs batted in. Knight's outside once again with the heater. Count goes to 2-1. Knight this season, 4 earned runs in 7 innings of work. Had not allowed a run in 2 relief appearances prior to his start in Kenosha, where he was also out of the zone early and often. Here the fastball is upstairs, and the count goes to 3-1 to Shaw. 3 walks at Simmons Field last week for Knight after only having 1 in his first 2 outings. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Out of the windup, outside, ball 4. 4 straight out of the zone, and Shaw takes the free pass down to first. And right now, it's only been 3 hitters deep, but we're seeing more of the same from Tanner Knight that we saw in his last start. Getting hit very hard, and the double down the line from Roland, and then a no-contest walk to Scott Shaw. That's what pitching coach Tyler Fletcher talks about so much. Competitive ABs. That was not one there to the 3-hole man in the Madison lineup. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Peyton Smith, first right-handed bat that Knight will see tonight. Smith, a healthy hack, he fouls it straight back for strike 1. DHing the night out of Georgia Gwinnett College. Smith in the Northwoods League this season played 27 games, hits .228 with 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Was 0 for 3 last night with an RBI hit by pitch in the 9th. Madison scored 2 to make things interesting before a double play ball got Rockford out of harm's way. Luke Fitton picked up the save in that one, but Smith in the series is now 2 for 9 with 3 runs batted in the 2 games. He takes upstairs, the count's even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Knight, slow leg kick in the delivery. Fastball fouled back once more. Count goes to 1-2. As far as arsenal goes for the right-hander out of Louisiana Tech, you're going to see fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. That slider is the primary off-speed pitch. Sits heater 65% of the time, but a 45% chase rate on the slider. It's his go-to off speed. We'll see what he does here in a 1-2 count. Does snap the breaking ball. It's outside. Tonight's catcher, Drew Baker, sails the throw into center field. Well to the left of the bag. Another miscue from this Rockford defense, and now Shaw standing on third base. So a stolen base for him, and then Baker just launched the throw out to the right. We've seen that a couple times from Drew Baker behind the dish already this season for the Rivets. His mechanics throwing down to second haven't always been pure. That time, there was no chance for either middle infielder or Inser Harding to field that baseball as it was well to their left. Infield comes in for the Rivets. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, popped up. It'll reach the seats, fine home as it hits off the top of the metal roofing of the seating area here at Warner Park, and the count stays at 2-2. Two miscues already from this Rivets defense. Has already allowed one run to come in and score, hoping for not a second. 2-2, fastball's well inside. It gets past Baker. It'll be easy for Shaw to jog home and score. Been free and easy for the Mallards so far tonight. That's another Rockford miscue. See if it scored as a wild pitch or a pass ball. It went right past Baker, but it was well inside of the right-handed hitting Smith, and it allowed Shaw to easily come home and score, make it 2-0. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Peyton Smith. Still only 1 out in the inning. This pitch is swung on, popped up. Into shallow right field. Out comes the second baseman Harding. His Illinois teammate McDonald in right field calls him off. Cam runs in, makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 down here in the first. Let's meet the Rockford defense. You have Cam McDonald, who's already been an active part of this inning, out in right field. Ben Brantley over at first base. Brody Harding completes the right side of the field at second base. Ty Crittenberger in center. Matt Mebin joins him in the outfield for just his second game of the season out in left field. Jeff Ince at shortstop. Then you've got Nick DeMarco with his second game over at third base. Drew Baker, as previously introduced, doing the catching. First pitch, a called strike to Christian Rivera. Next pitch, swing and a miss at a slider. There's that chase pitch from Knight. He's gotten ahead in the count, 0-2. Rivera, 238, hitter through 26 games this season. Does have 5 home runs to his name. Knight tries to jam him in an 0-2 count with a slider that breaks in on the hands, but it's cued off foul towards the facing of the Mallards dugout. Count stays at 0-2. Just one hit for the Mallards in the frame. A leadoff double from J.J. Roland. Couple of Rockford miscues has allowed 2 runners to come home and score. The 0-2 breaking ball is tapped foul off a home plate. No balls, 2 strikes to Rivera. Knight looking for his first strikeout to get out of the frame. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, foul it off to the first base side into the concourse. High 2-deck seating area here at the Duck Pond. You've got dark green seats littered throughout. Blue and green flags waving in the breeze all the way out to the 4-level duck blind out in right field. This one tapped foul third base side. Will do it again. Still 0-2 to Rivera, who's showing a lot of fight here with 2 strikes. Running up that pitch count, it's Tanner Knight. There's a grass seating area out in left center field. Another party porch down the left field line. Very shallow dimensions here at Warner Park. As the 0-2 is another fastball fouled off to the first base side. Rivera continues to run up that pitch count at Tanner Knight. 307 down the left field line, 308 in right. Gaps play about the 340 to 360. It's 380 to dead center. 0-2. Jam shot popped up. Easy for the third baseman DeMarco behind the bag to make the catch without moving an inch. Side is retired, but the Mallards come out aggressively on offense, scoring 2 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. There was a Rockford error. Nobody left on base. 2-0 Mallards will head to the second after this here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second from the duck pond. Early work to do for the Rivets. They trail 2-0 for a couple self-inflicted wounds in the first inning. 2 errors for Rockford, 1 hit for the Mallards, but they were able to plate 2 runs in the frame with a little small ball. 4-5-6 2 up for Rockford, who was retired in order in the first. Ty Crittenberger, Matthew Mebben, Brody Harding, scheduled hitters against Mitchell Leroy out for his second inning of work. Crittenberger did not play in yesterday's second game of this 4-game set. Right-handed batter, set to go in the box. The Western Kentucky outfielder takes a breaking ball inside for 1-0. Through 27 games this season, Crittenberger hitting .303, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. Raises his bright red batting gloves high above his head. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball on the inner third, swung on and missed. Counts even at 1-1. Leroy's fastball getting on hitters quickly. So it's about 89, 90 miles an hour, and he's shown a little power in that right arm so far tonight. A couple late swings from these Rivets bats. Here's the 1-1. Low and away. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. She said Crittenberger did not play yesterday, but has been locked in at the plate as of late. Last 3 games, he's 5 for 10 and also walked 4 times. Reached base in all 5 plate appearances in Monday's loss to the Mallards. 2-1 pitch. Low and away, 3-1. Ironically enough, it's been as Crittenberger has been moved from the leadoff spot to the cleanup spot for his aggressiveness early on in at-bats that he's become more of an on-base threat once again. 3-1 pitch, Leroy, high left leg kick, pause in delivery, fastball's upstairs, ball 4. Right on cue, it's a leadoff walk for Ty Crittenberger. Guess it doesn't matter what inning he's leading off. Florida native gets the job done, turns it over to Matthew Mebben. Mebben been a polarizing player all season. The freshman from South Georgia State College. Homered in last night's game. A solo shot over the high wall out in right center field. The field level video board here at Warner Park. It was the 6th home run of the season. That's the second most in the Northwoods League through 30 games. A .297 hitter. Picked up an RBI on that solo blast. That was number 32 on the season for him. He leads the Northwoods League in that category. Set at the belt is Leroy. Here's the first pitch. Mebben, swing and a miss as it gets away from Rivera. Crittenberger didn't go at first, thinking it was fouled down towards the plate, but instead it's just a straight out whiff from Mebben, and Crittenberger scampers into scoring position over at second base. Big stolen base threat on there at second. Plenty of pace to burn. Rockford trying to strike back here in the top of the second. They trail 2-0. And an 0-1 count to their big bat, Matthew Mebben, who's out in left field tonight for just the second time this season. Middle infielders are pinched for the Mallards. Gonzalez slightly playing into the hole at shortstop. The third baseman, Smith, well behind the bag off the line as Mebben takes a breaking ball that snaps at the knees for strike 2. 0-2, quickly the count. Talked about Mebben being polarizing. He also has 35 strikeouts this season. That is the most in the Northwoods League to go along with his league high on RBIs. Twirls the bat head a couple of times. Now rests it parallel to his left shoulder. No balls, 2 strikes. Leroy looks at the runner. Crittenberger breaks. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on a miss. Throw to third's not in time. Really good jump from Ty Crittenberger, who went going before Leroy even lifted his leg. He gets the third base sliding feet first, but Mebben goes down via the punch-out. It's the first strikeout for Leroy. There is a runner on third with 1 out for the Rivets. Crittenberger gets at third base as well. He stole it on the pitcher, but against a very good defensive catcher in Rivera, who's already thrown out plenty of runners this season. A pop time just a little over 2 seconds. But for Ty, stolen base number 16 on the season. That's top 5 in the league. Here's Brody Harding, who's been an RBI machine as of late. 2 for 4 last night. Infield single and a solo home run. He's 4 for 9 in the series. Corners up, middle infield back for the Mallards. First pitch to Harding. Here's the changeup. It floats over the outside corner for strike 1. RBIs in 6 of 7 for Harding. His 14 are the 3rd highest total on the team, tied with Illinois teammate Cam McDonald. 0-1 from Leroy. Bounces in, the fastball kicks away from Rivera to the right. Here comes Crittenberger sliding in feet first. He's safe at home plate. Rivera went with the underhand flip getting to the baseball, but Leroy could not apply the tag in time, covering over from the mound. Crittenberger scores, and Rockford's on the board. It's a 2-1 ball game. That's what the speed of Ty Crittenberger can do. A leadoff walk turns into a small ball to run for the Rivets. They get back within one. So the third baseman, Smith, stays up on the cutout in the grass. Now the first baseman, Stevens, is back playing on the line at first. 1-1's the count to Harding. Pitch from Leroy. Fastball tight, 2-1. Has not been the cleanest game necessarily for either side so far. 2 Rivets errors, a couple of balls that have barreled away from Rivera behind the dish. Some wild pitches also helping Crittenberger advance. 2 walks have turned into 2 runs. We're only in the second inning. Leroy out of the zone again. This time the fastball's upstairs, and the count's 3-1 to Harding. Illinois infielder set to go in the lefty box. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Inside, dusts off the top of his shoe tops as he heads down to first base, taking tight for ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Leroy. Still only 1 down in the second. Brings up the 7-hole hitter in the Rockford lineup, Drew Baker, doing the catching tonight. Just the 11th game of the summer for Baker. He's 6 for his first 31. 3 of those 6 hits are doubles. He has 4 RBIs to his name. First action since Monday, where he went 0 for 3 at Rivets Stadium against the Mallards with a walk. Also delivered a sacrifice. First pitch to him. Inside for ball 1. Leroy's been a little all over the zone in this inning. We'll see if Harding tries his luck trying to run the bases. He's 7 for 10 this season, but has not stolen a base in his last 7 games. Stevens holding him on over at first. Arch towards the fair territory line as a pick move over from Leroy. Harding's back with the head first dive. Also have to watch the catcher behind the dish in Rivera. He's only played a handful of games behind the dish this season for Madison, but has shown a specific tendency to backpick runners over at first base. He's had some success with that this summer. We'll see what he does here. Right now, it's just a couple moves over from Leroy, and Harding back safely again. Rivera has a really strong arm on him behind the dish. 1 ball, no strikes to Baker. Leroy set, slide step home. Low in the dirt, 2-0. Finally seeing the swing start to come around for Baker. Yes, 0 for 3 on Monday, but he's 4 for 11 overall since an 0 for 13 stretch, and was 3 for 5 in Rockford's previous series against Traverse City up at Rivets Stadium. And the count here, 2-0. Fifi lets it rip. Leroy pumps a fastball. Baker thought about taking the bat head off the shoulder, but instead he takes strike 1. Just couldn't pull the trigger. 2 balls and 1 strike. Harding hands on his knees over at first base. Bent takes a step towards the bag as Leroy glances over. Glove pinned to his left shoulder. Now a deep breath as he comes set at the belt. He'll flip back to first, and it gets away from the first baseman, Stevens, but a kind carom off the all-brick walls here at the duck pond. It bounces straight back to Mabry, the second baseman, who had Harding look back to first base. Again, it's an all-brick wall all the way out till you get to the outfield here at the duck pond. So up both sides and at the backstop, and it plays for some wild ricochets back into the field of play. Almost feels like a pinball board at times. Helps out the Mallards there, 2-1 the count. Leroy now set on the batter at home. He fires a fastball tight, 3-1. Just 6 walks for Baker this season and 12 strikeouts. So far, Leroy has been sporadic with the fastball in this inning. See if Harding goes. Not very aggressive a lead off first base. He'll stay put as the 3-1 comes in. Baker down the line. Fair ball. Inside the bag at third. It kicks off the brick. Carom out towards the left fielder, Shaw. Harding running into third. Here's the throw. It's up the line and not in time. It goes as a long single for Baker, having to stay put after that ball ricocheted off the wall straight out to the left fielder Shaw, but Harding, a good jump, gets first to third. They're at the corners for the Rivets with one down here in the second. Second hit of the day for Rockford, and Drew Baker stay hot. 5 for his last 12, and he passes the baton off to Dylan Robertson. Big situation here for the Rivets that can tie the game. Robertson, your DH for tonight, batting from the left side. He's batted up and down this Rivets lineup the last handful of games. In the 8-hole for JT Scara tonight. 300 bat in 23 games. 3 doubles, 6 runs batted in. Had a season-high 6-game hitting streak snapped last night. Leroy's first pitch, breaking ball upstairs, taken for ball 1. It's only the third time this season where Dylan Robertson failed to reach base. Went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Set in the lefty box. Very open stance. Left leg towards the back chalk line. He swings and fouls a fastball straight back. Counts 1-1. Leroy trying to bear down. Rivets at the corners with 1 out. 2-1 the Mallards lead, but Rockford's already struck for 1 here in the second, trying to tie the game. First time starter this summer for the Mallards peers in. Slide step in the delivery. Robertson swings, sends a towering pop-up to right field. Brodell running over towards the foul line. It'll hook towards the seats. The right fielder gave that one a look for the Mallards, but it's a long looping strike 2 to Robertson as it ends up well into foul territory. Again, this is just the first start of the season for Leroy. Pitch count's starting to get up there for him. He only pitched an inning and a third Thursday in his last outing against the Battle Creek Battlejacks. Allowed 3 earned runs on 3 hits, walking 1, striking out 2. His longest outing of the season, only 3 innings. So see how long the arm is stretched out here for the Mallards tonight. 1-2 to Robertson. Here's the pitch. Down low, good block from Rivera in the dirt. Prevents the runners from advancing. Count goes to 2-2 on D-Rob. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at the corners for the Rivets, trailing by 1. Leroy set. He gets his sign from the catcher, Rivera. Spins and throws back to first. Not a very big lead at all for Baker. Maybe about a step and a half. He's back standing at the bag. Next pitch will be number 40 for Mitchell Leroy. Jump set. Here's the pitch. 2-2. Check swing. They throw back to third, and Harding's out. Robertson went around. That's strike 3. It's a double play. Situation that cannot happen if you're the Rivets. Harding still standing on the third base bag, appealing to the third base umpire. But there's the danger in the back pick from Rivera. We talked about it in this half inning. Adam Morgan calls out Brody Harding on a back pick on a check swing strikeout to Dylan Robertson, and the side is retired. More miscues from Rockford. They miss a chance to tie the game. It's 2-1 Mallards, 3 inning and a half here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Back at the Duck Pond in Madison, Wisconsin, Mallards lead the Rivets 2-1. Rockford getting a run back in the last half inning, but a base running blunder for the Rivets. Brody Harding picked off at third base. They miss a golden chance to tie the game as the first pitch is bunted foul from Noah Smith, the six-hole man in the Madison lineup. Batting from the right side against Rockford starter Tanner Knight. Back out there for a second inning of work. So it's 0-1 to Smith after the ball is bunted foul off a home plate. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Mallards in the frame, all from the right side against the righty from Louisiana Tech. Smith this season, 258 hitter. Did not see action in yesterday's game in Madison as he takes high for ball one, counts even. 2 doubles, 7 runs batted in on the season. He swings and scalds a ball to center field. Crittenberger started back, now comes in, drifts into the right center alleyway. The center fielder for Rockford makes the catch for out number 1. Clean first out for Tanner Knight, who's trying to settle into this start. Was hit around a little bit in that first inning, a hard hit double from Roland, but nowhere near as hard as he was hit in Kenosha in his first start, where he gave up 2 home runs in the first inning. In that start, 3 of his 5 hits given up through 3 frames were for extra bases. Trying to settle in here as he gets a first pitch, weak foul ball, a dribbler to the Mallards dugout from Elias Stevens. Just Stevens' second game here for the Mallards this season. He went 0 for 3 yesterday in his debut with a walk and a strikeout. Next pitch from Knight splits the plate for strike 2. He's been working quickly on the mound this inning. Stevens started his season as a temp player for the Wilmer Stingers. Over on the Great Plains side, he played 10 games for them, hit .333. A good sample size. He just gets a piece of the Knight slider here to stay alive at 0-2. 12 for 36 in those ABs. He had 5 home runs and 9 RBIs. He was your first Northwoods League home run leader of the season as a temporary player for the Stingers. Didn't have space on him for the roster, so Madison picks him up. Knight inside with the offering. Count goes to 1-2. Again, 5 home runs in 10 games. Was helped out by a monster game in Rochester against the Honkers. Second game of the season, he went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs. Taps 1 foul, third base side. The count will stay here at 1-2. So the man from Maryville University reported to Madison yesterday, scorching hot to start his Northwoods League season. He cooled down at the end of his time with the Stingers. Now finds himself at the Duck Pond. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ground ball to shortstop. Stays down on Jeffrey Ince, who sets his feet, throws across in time to put out Stevens. 0 for 4 so far in a Mallards jersey. 2 down for JT Mabry. Really big bounce back inning here potentially for Tanner Knight to try to settle back into this game. Again, was hit around a little bit in that first inning, but was not helped out by the defense behind him. And that's been a point of real struggle for Rockford in recent games. Before that, here's the first pitch to Mabry. Swing and a miss. Knight dropped in the curveball, and it broke off the table. Mabry drops down to a knee on that swing. Usually a very consistent hitter, the Middle Tennessee State products, 250 through 23 games this season. Ground ball over to second. Harding backhands, throws from behind the second base bag in time. There's your 1-2-3 frame. If you're Tanner Knight, a big bounce back, and this time clean defense behind him for the Rivets, who already have 2 errors tonight. But it stays a 2-1 ball game through 2. Rockford coming to the dish after this on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the third from the Duck Pond. 9-1-2 due up for the Rivets. They trail 2-1. The host Madison Mallards. Jeff Ince, Cam McDonald, Ben Brantley. Your scheduled hitters for Rockford here in this frame, looking to bounce back. Rivets conceded 2 in the bottom half of the first. Bounce back with 1 in the top half of the second. We're threatening with runners at the corners and 1 out. But Madison already turned 2 double plays tonight. One the more traditional 4-6-3 variety, courtesy of a Ben Brantley ground ball, but struck out Dylan Robertson and then picked Brody Harding off the back pick from the catcher Rivera off of third base to end the second. That's how we've gotten to where we are right now. Ince, the 9-hole man, set to step into the left-handed box. The switch inning shortstop will bat from the left side against the right-handed arm of Mitchell Leroy. Remains out on the mound for his third inning of work, the starter tonight for the Mallards. Has only pitched into the third once all season, primarily used as a reliever up to this point. First pitch to Ince. Fastball is taken just off the plate for ball 1, just below the kneecaps of the switch inning shortstop from Louisiana Tech. 15th game of the season for Ince. He's just 5 for 40 so far on the young season. Open stance from the left side. Next pitch, fastball above the letters, makes it 2-0. Ince bounced back big in the first game of this series. He snapped a 2 for 21 stretch with a double Monday's game 1 in Rockford. He swings and sends the ball back foul. Ince has put some better swings on baseballs here. He's fouled that pitch straight back, spoiling the letter high fastball, making the count 2-1. Ince scolded a ball to third baseman Noah Smith. He's out there tonight at the hot corner. He has been electric defensively all series long for the Mallards. Fully robbed Ince of extra bases, diving out to his right, snagging the ball up the third base line on the fly. Next pitch is a breaking ball floated outside, and the count goes to 3-1 on Ince. He'll take a trip around the bases any way he can get one here. See how aggressive he is in hitter's count. Leroy set at the belt. High leg kick, rears his arm back. The delivery is a fastball below the knees for ball 4. Already the third walk for the Madison starter. Ince aboard first. It turns over the lineup to Cam McDonald. McDonald led off the game with a single before being erased on a double play ball. Extended his hitting streak to 6 games already. That's a season high for the Illinois outfielder. Set to go in the righty box. Leroy peers back at the runner before coming set just above the belt on the mound. Third base side of the rubber. McDonald shows bunt, pulls back. It's a strike on a fastball that splits the plate. 0-1 to McDonald. Again, we did say that Leroy primarily has worked as a reliever. Just 9 innings under his belt coming into today through 5 appearances for the Mallards, but did get a little experience starting for Florida Southern College here in the spring. He made 13 appearances for them as McDonald takes a breaking ball away. Good stop from the catcher Rivera, who had to reach across his body to snare that on the backhand. Ince stays put at first. It's a 1-1 count to McDonald. 5.17 ERA at Florida Southern this season for Leroy. Pitched 41 1/3, 18 earned runs off of 40 hits, 6 walks, 19 strikeouts. So a little unconventional with the lack of control so far tonight. Next pitch to McDonald, breaking ball. There was no lack of control on that one. Curveball breaks over the outside edge, right on the corner for strike 2. 1-2 the count to McDonald. Mallards infield at double play depth. Everybody back except for the first baseman Stevens, holding on the runner in Ince. Aggressive 3-step lead. We'll see if he's in motion here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to pitch. Fastball's a called strike 3. McDonald frozen on the heater on the outside corner. He goes down looking. It's a second strikeout for Leroy. 1 down here in the third. It's the 9th time McDonald struck out this season in 16 games. He heads back to the dugout. Ben Brantley into the left-handed batter's box with 1 down and a runner on first. 2-1 Mallards here in the top of the third. They'll check on Ince. Back with a head-first dive. Brantley today, 0 for 1. He hit into that aforementioned double play ball in the first inning. A 4-6-3 twin killing on the high chopper off his bat. So now 0 for 8 in the series. Longest he's gone this season without having a hit. Been 18 of his first 54 coming into tonight. First pitch. Changeup floats right in over the inside edge. Freezes Brantley. He's down on the count 0-1. Leroy, somebody who's usually heavy fastball, typically uses the heater over 60% of the time. Starting to see him lean on that off speed a little more comfortably here as he gets second time through this order. No balls in a strike. Here's the pitch. Ince goes. Fastball inside. Rivera on the short hop. Picks it. His throw down to second base. Short hops. The man out in front, Gonzalez. And Ince slides in safely to second base. Good backup from Mabry to prevent that ball from getting into center field. But it's a stolen base for Ince, who's into scoring position now with one away. Pitch was low, so it's a ball to Brantley. The count's 1-1. For Ince, that's his first stolen base of the summer for Rockford. Mentioned he'd been finding trouble reaching the base paths, but looking to make an impact here, representing the tying run in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brantley. Here's the pitch from Leroy. Fastball outside, 2-1. Was talking to Brantley a little bit about last night when he had his third sharp line out to the catcher, the man behind the dish, Christian Rivera, who was over at first base, for the first 2 games of this series. Couple of words exchanged between the two of them after Brantley hit that third liner straight at the first baseman. 2-1s, a fastball left upstairs. I asked Ben what that interaction was like. Brantley said he looked at him and he flashed up 3 fingers, signaling that was the third sign that Rivera had robbed him of a hit. The two shared a laugh about it as Brantley headed back into the dugout. Rivets took last night's contest 4-2, looking to take 2 of the first 3 in this 4-game set against the Mallards. 3 balls in 1 strike with 1 out. Ince dancing off second. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball is on the inside corner. Brantley knew it right away as he raised his arms out of the way, trying to sell a ball 4. But instead, the home plate umpire, Jonathan Rector, calls it strike 2. So the count's full to Brantley. Big swing pitch here for Leroy. He's walked 3, struck out 2 so far tonight. Brantley casts his arms out over home plate. Big open stance from the left side. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to second. Mabry gets around on it, bobbles it momentarily, still recovers in time in the shallow right field grass to throw to first and nab Brantley for the 4-3 putout. So 2 down. Ince was off with contact. He's up to third base. Big second out for Mitchell Leroy. 2 down, a runner on third for the Rivets, representing the tying run, and Ince. Stage set for Nick DeMarco. Just the second game for the Notre Dame product. Grounded at the shortstop back in the first. He's 1 for his first 6 in a Rivets uniform. Righty on righty matchup. Infield all the way back for the Mallards. Nobody holding on. Ince over at third. First pitch breaking ball, grounded to shortstop. Couple of awkward hops in front of the South Florida bull Gonzalez, but an accurate throw to first as he recovers in time to nab DeMarco and retire the side. No runs off a leadoff walk. There were no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Still 2-1 Mallards through 2.5. You're on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the third from the duck pond. 9-1-2 scheduled to hit for the Madison Mallards. Tanner Knight still on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. 2 early runs for Madison has them out to this 2-1 lead. Teams have split the first two of this 4-game set in this cross-divisional series. Gonzalez, who made the putout, to end the top half of the third, bats to lead things off. The South Florida product is 7 for his first 25 in the Northwoods League this season. A double and 1 RBI to his name. Set to step into the right-handed batter's box against a tall, lanky right-hander in Tanner Knight from Louisiana Tech. Knight 2 runs allowed, both unearned through the first 2 innings. Allowed only 1 hit so far, first time through the order as he snaps a breaking ball over the outer third. Strike 1 to Gonzalez, who hit over 300 this season in South Florida through 38 games. 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. Knight trying to pound the outside edge of the zone. That time throws the fastball. Can't get the call from home plate umpire Jonathan Rector. So the count even at 1-1. Knight working quickly out of the windup, goes back to the breaking ball, still staying over that outside corner, but it just misses again, 2-1. Gonzalez 3 for 9 in the series. He was 1 for 3 last night. Now 6 for his last 17 as a breaking ball chopped up the third base line, but it drifts foul before going over the bag. 2-2. This inning was Knight's undoing in Kenosha in his first start in a Rivets uniform. Only went 3 innings, allowing 4 earned runs on 5 hits. And after a rough first inning, wasn't helped out by his defense. Looking to bounce back here as he inches towards a second time through the order. 2-2 pitch, another breaking ball, fouled off the netting above the Mallards dugout this time on the third base side. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man Gonzalez here in the bottom of the third. 2-1 Mallards lead the Rivets. Tanner Knight, wind up in the delivery. 2-2 is inside. Count goes full. That time it was a fastball from the Louisiana Tech product. Set to go on the mound, a deep breath. He works out of the windup on the first base side. 3-2 pitch. Fastball grounded over to first. Brantley has it on the backhand off the bag. He flips over to first, where Knight's off the mound to cover. 3-1 on the putout. Really nice play from Ben Brantley to get down behind the bag at first base. Backhand that one with his first baseman's mitt. His momentum taking him away from the bag. Still shovels Knight accurately for out number 1. Really pretty play from Rockford's infield. It turns the lineup over to J.J. Roland. Sophomore outfielders 1 for 1 tonight. Doubled to lead off the first inning for the Mallards. Got the third on the throwing error from Cam McDonald. Eventually scored on an RBI ground out from Marcus Brodell, who waits on deck. First pitch he sees this time is a breaking ball away from Knight. 1-0 the count. 1-0 pitch. Fastball is a called strike on the outer third. 1-1 now your count. That McDonald throwing error was one of 2 errors at that top of the first for Rockford. Defense has been a roller coaster ride this season for the Rivets as Knight finds the outside edge with a changeup. Really well located at the letters to make the count 1-2. Some jeers from the Mallard supporters in the crowd here, but Knight a pitch away from a big strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Fastball's well outside. Talked about the roller coaster for the Rivets defense. They had the most errors in the Northwoods League through the first couple weeks of the season, 34 as a team. Bounce back after that as the 2-2 from Knight is elevated on the third base side. A breaking pitch fouled into the seats. So still 2-2 to roll on as he continues to fight with 2 strikes. The Rivets won a spell where they only made 3 errors in the span of 10 games, and that allowed them to fall down the charts when it comes to team defense in the Northwoods League, but they have quickly risen back to the top. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled straight back, stays 2-2. 14 errors for Rockford in their last 4 games and 2 innings. That'll put you back up towards the top of the list in the Northwoods League when it comes to team errors. They had a 5-error game on Saturday against Traverse City. They've had multiple errors in each of the first 2 games in this set against the Mallards. 2-2. Swung on and cranked to right center field. McDonald going back. He's got a beat on it. He'll settle it down just in front of the warning track to make the catch. Was a loud sound off the bat of Roland. Even though there's shallow dimensions here at Warner Park, doesn't particularly carry in the duck pond, and that one dies just shy of the track for out number 2. Roland retired for the first time tonight. Brings up the 2-hole man, Marcus Brodell. Another South Florida product. 0 for 1 tonight, but a productive at-bat at that. An RBI ground out to the second baseman Harding his first time up. Got that ground out on the first pitch. This time he watches a changeup over the outside corner for strike one. Brodell has been on fire this series, even when not getting hits. As Knight finds the outside edge again with the changeup. He's living outside to these hitters. He's getting that call from Jonathan Rector, and he gets ahead again here 0-2. But Brodell was 1 for his last 23 entering the series. He's since 4 for 10 through these first 3 games thus far. Very productive. 2 hits in each of the first 2 games, and already an RBI tonight. The fastball upstairs makes it 1-2. Left-handed bat out of the University of South Florida. 276 hitter for the Bulls in his freshman season. 1-2 from Knight. Fastball. Brodell's able to hold up on the swing as it darted inside. The count's 2-2. Knight out of the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Cranked to right field. McDonald racing over towards the alleyway. Slides and makes the catch. Little bit of an awkward slide from Cam McDonald, who dropped down to a knee running into the right center alleyway, but he's able to scoop that one underhand, make the catch to retire Brodell, and the side in order. Don't look now, that's 8 in a row retired from Tanner Knight, trying to find a groove. Second time through the order. Still 2-1 Mallards as we head to the 4th here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Middle third due up for Rockford. 2-1. They trail the Madison Mallards here at the Duck Pond as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Mitchell Leroy still on the bump. This is the longest he's gone in an outing in the Northwoods League this season. First time pitching into the 4th. But he's done a job so far. 2 times through this Rockford lineup. Second time cleanup man Ty Krittenberger will lead off an inning. Was the leadoff hitter his first 20-plus games in a Rivets uniform, and apparently can't stop leading off an inning. First pitch swinging. Inside-out swing. A line drive single into center field. Krittenberger stays red hot. Now 6 for his last 11, and he's reached in all 7 plate appearances this series. A leadoff single on the first pitch. Standing on first base representing the tying run for Matthew Mebane. Really good piece of hitting from Krittenberger. Swing got inside on him with the fastball, was able to turn it around easily into center field. Mebane 0 for 1 with the strikeout his first time up. First pitch from Leroy. Breaking ball's well inside. Mebane has to pull his hands in close to his jersey to take for ball 1. Of course, Mebane was hit in the left hand back in Kalamazoo earlier this season. That no doubt a concern for him when those pitches fly inside on him. 1-0 the count. Here's a pitch from Leroy. Fastball low. Here's the back pick. Once again, from the catcher behind the dish, Rivera. Head first dive in safely from Krittenberger. He's going to have to watch out for that. Rivera back picks very, very often. We've already seen him pick off 1 runner tonight in Harding to end off the 2nd inning when Rockford had runners at the corners trying to tie the game. Krittenberger, though, an aggressive base runner, leads the team in stolen bases. Next pitch from Mebane, grounded up the middle. Gonzalez, glove flip to second. Mayberry, a bare hand. He throws the first in time. As pretty of a 6-4-3 double play as you will see. Gonzalez fielded the high bouncing grounder parallel to the second base bag. A glove flip to Mayberry, who was standing on the second base bag. He barehanded it through to first to double off Mebane. Krittenberger erased 6-4-3, 2 down for Rockford in the fourth. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap, and a beautiful play up the middle from the Mallards. So the base is cleared with 2 outs for Brody Harding. First pitch, hey, inside. It actually hits Harding on his right shoe top, and he's going to head down to first base. There's been a couple ankle dusters already for Harding in this game. He walked his first time up after having to jump out of the way of a couple of fastballs. That time he contorts himself but can't completely dodge it as he's on first base with 2 down. Passes the baton off to Drew Baker. Catcher out of Wright State will bat from the right side with 2 down, Harding on first. We'll see how aggressive Harding gets here with 2 outs. 7 for 10 swiping bags this summer. Again, was already picked off the base paths once on the back pick from Rivera at third. First pitch to Baker, fastball tight. Takes inside for 1-0. Good stop from Rivera, sliding over to his left to palm that baseball. Baker pulled a single down the third base line his first time up, a bouncing ball that kicked up chalk past the third base bag. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Leroy checks on the runner. Harding back with the head first dive. Mentioned was Mitchell Leroy's longest outing in the Northwoods League this season. They'll check on Harding again. Another dive back in safely. They're keeping him honest over there. He only worked into the 4th inning 3 times at school this season in Florida Southern. 2 outings of 5 innings pitched back in March. And then a 4-inning pitch outing on April 29th against Embry-Riddle. Next pitch is down low to Baker. Counts 2-0. So we'll see how long Leroy has for the game, but right now he's showing no signs of fatigue and very confident approach against these Rockford bats. Second time through, Baker sends a fastball foul on the first base side, counts 2-1. Another hit for Drew Baker. He's now 5 for his last 12 in at the dish. Beginning to figure things out with the bat. He already has a couple of doubles on this season. 2 of those pulled into the right center field gap as Harding's back once again safely. It's been a commendable effort to contain the running game on both sides. Harding, hardly a lead off first base. Now he'll get a little more aggressive, extending his legs. No pickoff this time. It's just a 2-1 line. Straight back up the middle. Leroy, a web gem. Plucks the ball off the top of his cap to snag the liner and retire Baker, who scorched it up the middle. Infield defense on full display for the Mallards in the 4th. They work around the 2-out hit by pitch and keep a 2-1 lead heading to the bottom half. You're on the Rivets Baseball Network. 3-4-5 coming to the dish for the Mallards. They lead the Rivets 2-1, headed to the bottom of the fourth from the Duck Pond. Starter Tanner Knight back out there for a fourth inning. Deepest he's worked into a game this season to complement Mitchell Leroy on the mound for Madison. Couple Mallards up there lately gripping baseballs, but no sign so far that Leroy's night is done. See if he comes back out for a fifth inning. First pitch from Knight is outside to Scott Shaw. Shaw, the 3-hole hitter for the Mallards tonight, walked back in the first. Next pitch from Knight's outside once again, 2-0. Shaw 1 for 4 last night, delivered an RBI. He's 3 for 11 now in the series as he has to jump out of the way of a pitch way inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Shaw had a multi-hit game in Game 1. It was his first since June the 18th. Had 3 in quick succession. But after that, had been off the schneid for quite some time. Was slumping a little bit offensively, but has come back to life here in this series. Knight inside with 4 straight. It's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the fourth. It's just his second walk for the Louisiana Tech right-hander. As we said, deepest he's worked into a game this season. Wonder what time fatigue starts to become a factor. So far, no hurt with just the 1 walk right now. His manager, Donnie Scott, comes in and is up in arms with home plate umpire Jonathan Rector. Pointing towards the batter's box, he has a few words for Rector. Knight's going to take a stroll off the mound and talk to second baseman Brody Harding. Scott's back over in the third base coach's box now. Maybe not happy about how inside some of those pitches were to Shaw. I'm not too sure. Either way, will be something to watch. Peyton Smith, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Popped out the right field his first time up. He's 0 for 1 today. Righty on righty matchup. Knight down low in the dirt. He's missed with his first 5 of the innings so far. 1-0 the count to Smith. Right-handed hitting DH out of Georgia Gwinnett College. Infield a double play depth for the Rivets. Runner not being held on as it currently stands. The breaking ball from Knight dropped in for strike 1. Now Brantley over on the first base bag covering Shaw. Middle infielders pinched up the middle. Ensign Harding. DeMarco, the third baseman, is way off the line at third. And a big swing and a miss at a curveball from Knight. Smith down in the count 1-2. If he can pull that baseball down the line right now, it's an easy double. You've got Mebane shaded in the gap in left field. And then DeMarco, the third baseman, even with the bag at third, but he's a good 4 or 5 strides off the line. Almost playing in the hole at shortstop. 1-2 from Knight. Inside fastball tried to jam Smith, who checked his swing. 2-2. Smith 2 for 10 in the series. Wiggles the bat off his right shoulder. Knight, high leg kick delivery. Breaking ball swung on, towering pop fly. First action in left center field potentially for Mebane, but it sets the center fielder Krittenberger, who comes bull rushing in to make the catch in shallow left center for the first out of the frame. Mebane slightly reluctant to give way to the natural outfielder Ty Krittenberger, but knows the Western Kentucky man is accompanying his lack of experience in the outfield with a little extra range. Smith 0 for 2 tonight. Christian Rivera bats with 1 down and a runner on first. 2-1 Madison looking to add on in the bottom of the fourth. Rivera popped out to the third baseman his first time up. Knight has gotten back in the strike zone with the breaking ball. Slider over the outside edge for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Couple of bat twirls from Rivera. Knight set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded over towards second. Harding gets around on it, flips the shortstop for 1. It's his relay, throws a bullet, and it's in time. 4-6-3 double play. Already the third we've seen tonight from the two sides. Leadoff base runners have been getting erased left and right in this one. Through 4, still 2-1 Mallards. We'll step aside here on the Rivets Baseball Network. 4 really effective innings from Mitchell Leroy on the mound for Madison. His time is coming fast in this ball game. He's put Madison in a really good situation here as they turn it over to their bullpen. Just not a lot of length in the arm. Somebody who's not eaten up a lot of innings this season. But it's hard-throwing lefty coming out onto the bump for the Mallards. Justin Miller, left-hander from Purdue Fort Wayne, will toe the rubber for Madison here in the 5th inning. Miller, first arm out of the bullpen tonight. It's appearance number 6 on the season for him so far, 1-1 with a 7.11 ERA through 12 2/3. Has allowed 13 runs, 10 of which are earned on 19 hits, walking 4, striking out 14. Stays in the zone, but gets hit around sometimes. His last 2 outings have not been kind to him. He's allowed 6 earned runs in his last 2 outings, are each 3 innings long. One against Battle Creek just last Thursday, and then 3 innings against Fond du Lac 13 days ago, where he allowed 4 runs, 7 total runs on 6 hits through those 3 frames against the Dock Spiders. Has really ballooned his ERA. He's hoping for a bounce-back outing against the Rivets tonight. Gets the favorable matchup as the left-handed hitting Dylan Robertson comes to the dish. Robertson, Ince, and McDonald, 8-9-1 in the Rivets order, the scheduled hitters. Robertson 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He went down going around on a check swing back in the 2nd. First pitch for Miller. Fastball, swing and a miss. He powered it past him, 0-1. Again, Miller's fastball, very, very hard from the left side. Sits at the high 80s, but a lot of whip on that arm for the left-handed delivery. He also has a curveball and a changeup. Primarily 2-pitch mix with the fastball and curveball. There's the curveball. It breaks away from the left-handed bat low. Counts 1-1 to Robertson. Takes a little off the curveball. Sits around 77 miles per hour. Changeup's around 81, but he only uses it 8% of the time. Will factor mostly into righty hitters. Here's the 1-1 to Robertson. Fastball fouled off to the third base side. Counts 1-2. Four solid innings for Mitchell Leroy. Allowed just 1 earned run on 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts through 64 pitches. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Robertson gets the fastball blown past him. He goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. First strikeout for Miller here in the 5th. Longer this game goes, the 2 starters have struggled to give a lot of distance. More potentially turns into a bullpen game. If it turns into a bullpen game, tough to tell who you can give the advantage to. Jeffrey Ince steps in. He walked his first time up and stole a bag. Batting from the right side now against the lefty Miller. First pitch, line drive, base hit into right field. Split the second and first baseman on the right side. Jeffrey Ince has reached base twice tonight. And a big single for Ince, who continues to bounce back here in this series. Now 2 for 5 at the dish. Might not seem like much, but when you're struggling like Ince is, every hit matters. He gets his first from the right side since his bunt single in Kokomo over a week ago. He's on first base for Cam McDonald. McDonald's 1 for 2 today. He singled to lead off the ball game and then struck out looking in the 3rd. First pitch to him. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Again, longer this game goes, the more it becomes a bullpen game. Not sure who you give the advantage to. Rivets have had some up and down bullpen outings so far this season. Mallards, you could say more of the same. Both teams had to dip into their bullpen a good bit on Monday. And then Tuesday, slight advantage to Rockford because of the efficiency of Rabarchek, who went 7 innings, as the changeups dropped into McDonald at the knees for strike 1. But still not an awful lot of arms out there for Rockford, that haven't been already going on short rest. You talk about Alex Pipes, a little bit of arm fatigue from him. And then their closer, Luke Fitton, had been working a lot as this pitch hits McDonald. Looked like it ricocheted off of Rivera, the catcher, as well. McDonald checked his swing, and he'll jog down to first base. Second time McDonald's reached tonight. Rivera's still shaken up. He stooped over out in front of home plate. Now the three-man crew are going to talk about this. McDonald looked like he showed like he was going to go around a swing. They are going to still say it was a hit by pitch and he'll go to first base. And there's a trainer out there to tend to Rivera. Just a really awkward play all around. McDonald looked like he wanted to offer at the inside fastball. He stopped his hands rather early on in the swing, but the ball just kept darting inside and it hit him. And then looked like it ricocheted off the catcher, Rivera, who still stooped down in front of home plate as the athletic staff tends to him. Field manager Donnie Scott out there as well, looking at his catcher. Getting to his feet under his own power, certainly a good sign. Still stooped down on his knees and now fully upright. Continues to shake off what looks like his right leg. Donnie Scott over having a word with him right now. There are a lot of catchers on this Mallards team. So a lot of potential substitutions for Rivera, but just the energy he's brought this series and offensive and sustained defensive success tonight. Certainly hope he can continue. Back standing now, stretching out the legs a little bit. Staff is going to retreat to the Mallards dugout. Looks like he's good to continue. Certainly a good sign there. 2-1 game, Mallards lead. If you're just joining us here in the top of the fifth, Rockford's got 2 on with 1 out. Towards the top of their lineup, it's a 2-hole hitter, Ben Brantley. It's that one caught Rivera in a tough area, but he's able to shake it off. Still hopping up and down behind the dish. The nemesis of one, Ben Brantley, who steps into the left-handed batter's box. Brantley's 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls to second base tonight. First pitch, fastball's pumped right in for strike one. Brantley, another left-handed bat against the lefty on the mound, Miller, who poses an extremely imposing battle for these Rockford left-handers. That fastball is getting on the left-handed bat super quickly. 0-1 to Brantley. Miller, inside move towards second, will make the throw. There's nobody holding on the runner, Ince. Shortstop Gonzalez is slowly creeping over, and now he'll stand behind him to keep him honest. 0-1 to Brantley, swung on, popped up. Into the hole on shortstop, where Gonzalez will race all the way over from the second base bag, make the catch right on the edge of the left field grass for out number 2. Brantley retired, 2 down in the frame for Nick DeMarco. Rockford looking to tie the game here in the fifth. They have 2 on with 2 outs for their 3-hole man, who's 0 for 2 tonight. It's grounded out twice to shortstop. Favorable matchup against the lefty Miller. First pitch to him, breaking ball down low. Counts 1-0 to DeMarco. It's been his freshman season this year at Notre Dame. Rostered as a pitcher on the Rivets roster, but will be a two-way player this summer for JT Scara. Scheduled to get small excessive work on the mound in addition to being an often position player in this Rockford lineup as the fastball is away for 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Prime hitters count. We'll see if DeMarco lets it rip. Big pitch up coming for Miller, who sets collarbone high. The pitch. Fastball is laced foul on the first base side. DeMarco got a good piece of it, but couldn't put it in field of play. So the count's 2-1. Another late swing on that heater from Miller that's getting into the bat pass of these Rockford bats really quickly. Lots of whip and arm action on that fastball. Shakes off the sign from his catcher, Rivera. Now he comes set. Another runner being held on. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Changeup floats up high. Another prime hitters count here to DeMarco at 3-1. Again, runners on second and first. Ince the opposite field single. McDonald hit by a pitch. 2 on with 2 outs. 2-1 Mallards lead here, top of the fifth. Here's the pitch to DeMarco. Breaking ball away. It's ball 4. First walk for Miller. Bases are loaded for Rockford here in the 5th. Big opportunity here for the Rivets. And Ty Krittenberger in the cleanup spot. And he has yet to be retired in this series. Has reached in all 7 plate appearances. He singled and walked today, scored the lone Rockford run in the 2nd. Big RBI opportunity for your 2nd leading RBI getter on this Rivets team. First pitch. Inside on the fastball, 1-0. Some appeals from the fans on the strike zone. They won't be heard. Krittenberger up in the count. Six for his last 11. 1-0. That time the fastball splits the plate at the knees and the count's even. Krittenberger hits well over 300 this season with runners in scoring position. Rockford as a team hits just around 240 with the bases loaded, but they do have 3 grand slams on the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back. That was the pitch for Krittenberger. Got a changeup hanging over the plate on the outer third and just missed it, fouling it straight back. Big second strike for Miller on the mound. Looking to get Madison out of a jam here in the 5th. The bases are loaded for Rockford. Trailing by 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Ty Krittenberger. Miller gets his sign. Comes set at the letters. Deep breath in the pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the first base side again as it kicks off the brick siding over towards the Rockford bullpen. Nine multi-hit games for the Western Kentucky product this season, looking for number 10. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 5th. 2-1 Rivets trail the Mallards. Here's a pitch from Miller. Krittenberger takes the fastball upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. Big pitch upcoming. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Bases loaded, Rockford trailing by 1. 2-1 the score. The lefty Miller kicks and deals to the right-handed hitting Krittenberger, who sends a fastball foul first base side onto the concourse. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 21 RBIs on the season for the Western Kentucky product. Redshirt sophomore from Lighthouse Point, Florida. Ince on third. McDonald on second. DeMarco on first. Bases full of Rivets. 2-2 outs. Here's the pitch. Krittenberger swing and a miss. Up and in with the fastball. Miller beat him to the spot. His second strikeout of the frame. Rockford leaves the bases loaded in the 5th. No runs on a hit. No errors for Madison. Still 2-1 Mallards. We head to the bottom of the 5th after this on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, Smith, Stevens, Mabry. 6, 7, 8 do it for the Madison Mallards. They lead the Rockford Rivets 2-1. Tanner Knight still on the mound. Inning number 5 of work for the righty out of Louisiana Tech in his second start of the summer. First pitch swinging, ground ball to the shortstop. Vacuumed in by Ince. His throw across in time to Nab Smith. One away on one pitch for Tanner Knight. Throw was a bit to the right of the bag, but Brantley was able to get across the first baseman, keeping his right toe on the first base bag. Smith 0 for 2 on the day and 1 down here in the bottom half of the fifth. Been a really good bounce back from Tanner Knight. Was hit pretty hard in that first inning, but managed to find a way to bounce back. 2 Rockford errors as well in that frame. Helped the 2 Madison runs score. After his first start was very short-lived in Kenosha, where he gave up 2 home runs early and only made it through 3 frames. Really good to see him get that confidence back on the hill. First pitch is away to Stevens, who's 0 for 1 today with a ground ball to shortstop. He takes low in the third on the fastball and has had 2 balls and no strikes. Knight's been working with a tenacious pace on the mound. Next pitch will be number 55 for him as he deals the 2-0 upstairs. Coming out of his crouch is the catcher, Baker. Counts 3-0 to Stevens. Deepest he's worked into a game this season. Comes set at the belt, the 3-0 pitch. Fastball is a called strike over the inside third. Stevens was ready to chuck his bat towards the Mallards dugout and head down to first base. But he'll have to regroup. It's a 3-1 count. Knight working quickly. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. It's fouled straight back, and the count's now full. Biggest difference for Tanner Knight is pitching the more contact, the more soft contact at that. Big 3-2 on the way here. Swing and a miss. He got him. Didn't need any contact that time. He climbed the ladder with the fastball, and that is the first strikeout for Tanner Knight here. 2 down in the 5th inning. He's able to battle back all the way from 3-0 down. Really impressive sequence from Tanner Knight, continuing to develop before our very eyes. So Stevens sat down, first pitch, ground ball left side. DeMarco leaves for the shortstop Ince. His throw from deep in the holes in time. 8-pitch inning for Tanner Knight. Exactly what the doctor ordered. He's through 5. And the Rivets still within striking distance at the duck pond. 2-1 Madison. We'll head to the 6th after this. Here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 6th inning, Rockford still only trails by a run here to the Madison Mallards. It's 2-1 Madison, an important game to keep pace in the Great Lakes East first half race. Matthew Mebane will lead things off, 5-6-7, due up for the Rivets. Mebane is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out into a 6-4-3 double play. First pitch he takes inside. Favorable matchup for Mebane, who's up in the count 1-0 against the lefty Justin Miller. Hard-throwing southpaw who stays on the mound for a second inning of work. He loaded the bases in the 5th, but was able to strike out Ty Krittenberger to elude the jam. Next pitch to Mebane, smashed over towards second base. A lot of steam taken out of that baseball. Actually was in on the handle. Looked a little harder off the bat, but instead it's just a dribbler out to Mabry. Bottom of the sixth from the Duck Pond. Tanner Knight still on the mound. 2-1 Mallards lead the Rockford Rivets. 9-1-2 due up for Madison in the frame. Nick Gonzalez, J.J. Roland, Marcus Brodil, your scheduled hitters. Gonzalez set to lead it off, just his second time facing Knight in this ball game. 0 for 1 with a ground out to the first baseman. This is another first pitch ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Ince from the second base bag throws in time. Another efficient quick out for Tanner Knight. Already the third first pitch out he's had in the last 2 innings. Gets Gonzalez on the bouncing ball, and there's one away in the sixth. That was just pitch number 60 for the right-hander out of Louisiana Tech. It's kept him in this ball game, and it's starting to get into cruise control now 2 times through this Mallards lineup. Is an arm up and throwing in the Rivets bullpen. It's Ryan Green. We'll see how long Tanner Knight can go in this game. Again, another arm that hasn't been well stretched out leading into tonight. Roland tonight, the leadoff double. He scored the first run for the Mallards. Also flew out to right field. He's hit the ball sharply twice. Takes outside for ball 1. Left-handed hitting outfielder from Southern University. Hits a ground ball over to second. High one hopper for Harding. Throws to first in time. Another quick out. Just 3 pitches for the first 2 outs of the frame for Tanner Knight. Working quickly and efficiently, bringing up Marcus Brodil. But as for Knight, has not been a starter during any of his time at Louisiana Tech. In fact, only pitched 10 2/3 innings this entire spring season for the Bulldogs, and then 11 appearances in 2021. Still only pitched 10 2/3. Last time he was a full-time starter was East Central Community College, where he started the first 2 years of his career in 2019 and 2020. Brodil today 0 for 2. First pitch, fastball over the outside edge for Knight. 0-1. He's going into the 6th inning tonight as Tanner Knight. See how much more he has to give. 0-1, line shot. It's fair down the third base line. DeMarco was playing back and off the line. It knocks off the brick. Mebin's throw in is a strong one to second base. Brodil will stay at first. Thought about going for 2, but once again, the pinball effect of that brick wall here at the Duck Pond gets the ball to Mebin, the left fielder, quickly, where otherwise he would have to chase into the corner after it, which means the speedy Brodil only has a single on that hard hit ball down the line. He's on first with 2 outs. Probably the hardest hit baseball by Madison since the first inning. Pitching coach Tyler Fletcher out to make a mound visit. Again, you got to think that Knight's starting to get towards the end of his line in terms of just overall pitch count based on what he's thrown in the last couple of years. He's been in a groove. Fletcher probably just trying to calm him down, make sure he's all right to get him through the 6th inning here. Got a dangerous part of this Mallards lineup. It's a 3-hole man, Scott Shaw, the next scheduled hitter. Now home plate umpire Jonathan Rector out there to break out this mound conference. Tyre Rockford infield joins Knight and his battery mate Baker on the hill. The two talk over some signs before getting set to face the hitter in Shaw. Two quick outs for Tanner Knight here in the 6th. And then J.J. Roland after grounding out. Marcus Brodil singled hard into left field. Took an aggressive turnaround first. He's on first base. Stolen base threat for the Mallards. He's 0 for 1 so far this summer. Mallards aren't a team that run very often. Could send a runner in motion here with 2 outs. First pitch, breaking ball over the outside edge to Shaw. Especially with how consistent Knight's been with his off-speed arsenal being his primary focus as the first pitch. I think maybe Brodil could have gotten a good jump there. We'll see if he goes now. He does go. It's down in the dirt. Baker's throw to second is wide of the bag again. The tag's not in time. Harding had to grapple out to his left to lasso that ball in. Tried to tag on the run. But Brodil dives in safely with his first stolen base of the summer. And the way Rockford has struggled to plate runs in this game, you start to think that an insurance run here for the Mallards would be huge. They have one in scoring position with 2 outs. It's a 1-1 count to Shaw. Walked in his first 2 plate appearances. He takes low, 2-1. "11 RBIs on the season. from the Rider outfielder. Only had 13 RBIs through 28 games this season for the Broncos. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Knight. Fastball driven out towards right field. It's a sinking liner for McDonald to come in on and make the catch for out number 3. Tanner Knight gets through 6 innings of work. This is 2 runs across as Madison leaves the runner stranded in scoring position. Still 2-1 Mallards head to the 7th here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Seventh inning from the Duck Pond. New pitcher on the hill for Madison. They've been going with the southpaws out of the bullpen, and they will stick with that theme right now. Their third arm of the night is Adrian Montilva. Local product from Madison College. He's a redshirt sophomore, 5'10", 180. Third appearance of the season. Has not had the greatest start in the Northwoods League. Through 2 2/3, has allowed 7 earned runs on 8 hits. 4 earned through 2/3 of an inning against Battle Creek back on Thursday. Very big juncture of this game. Montilva will deal with Jeff Ince, his 3rd time leading off an inning tonight. First pitch grounder. Going to be a tough play for Smith, who throws over to first. It gets past the first baseman. Ince never ran. He never ran out of the box because he thought it was a foul ball, but it got past Stevens. He had to dig it out of the camera well area, and Ince is aboard. Going to likely go down as an error on Noah Smith on the throw. I'm not sure why he rushed the throw on the run when Jeff Ince just stood in the right-handed batter's box like it was a foul ball. One of the more bizarre plays we've seen. Noah Smith was charging in, just going through the motion, throwing the ball to first. He flung it in low. Stevens couldn't pick it. All of a sudden, Ince realized it was called a fair ball and just started running down to first. And he beat Stevens back to the bag, and they're going to call him safe. It's the 3rd time Ince has reached today. Unfortunately, without him running it out of the box, it has to go down as an E5. It's the first Mallards error of the game. And the 9-hole man has reached base all 3 times for the Rivets tonight. Let's see if Rockford can get him across. Boy, that is a huge play in the juncture of this game. If Rockford can tie the game off that Madison miscue that really, in all honesty, plagued Jeff Ince of his miscue of not running that ball out. We'll see what happens. McDonald, first pitch, driven to right field. It's going to hang up for the right fielder, Brodil, who was playing super deep. He comes in a couple steps from the warning track. McDonald stung that baseball. He's retired for the second time tonight. One down in the 7th. They'll bring up Ben Brantley. This is a strategy for Donnie Scott, trying to neutralize these lefties in the Rockford lineup. Brantley's one of them. Still no hits in the series. He's 0 for his last 10. Lefty on lefty matchup against Montilva. I like kicking the delivery. The first sign of off speed, it's upstairs. 1-0 to Brantley. Montilva's Arsenal's fastball, curveball, changeup. Saw the curveball there to the lefty Brantley in this lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the next pitch. Fastball outside, 2-0. Brantley, 5 RBIs on the season, looking for his first knock of the series. Infield a double play depth for the Mallards. Montilva will check on the runner over at first, who's back standing in Ince. Of course, you've got two bodies to be concerned about. You've got Montilva, the lefty, who's going to have a tough pickoff move. And then you've got the catcher Rivera, who has constantly gone to the back picks in this game and already picked off a runner doing so. Ince gets a 2.5-step lead. His eye stir up Sox, takes off first movement. The pitch is a fastball in for a strike. The throw to second base is not in time. Gonzalez had to lunge out to his right to keep it in front of him, but Ince still had it in plenty of time. His second stolen base of the game. He's into scoring position. The pitch is a called strike to Brantley, and it's a 2-1 count. And I think if you're Ben Brantley, very good idea to take that pitch. It was a belt-high fastball, but you get the runner into scoring position now. Brantley still ahead in the count, 2-1. 2-1 Mallards lead here in the top of the 7th. Rockford looking to chip away. Here's the pitch from Montilva. Brantley takes over the outside edge. Now all of a sudden the count 2-2. Madison College product. Looking to make his claim here for the Mallards. Hasn't had the greatest start to his season, but a big spot here in the 7th. His team leading by 1. Comes set at the letters. Deep breath. Drops his glove down to his belt. Now kicks and deals a 2-2. Fastball gets away from Rivera. Scoops it and leaves it go under his glove. It caromed off the brick. Rivera tried to scoop it and make the throw to third quickly as Ince had taken off, but it sneaks underneath his glove. Jeff Ince has had a guardian angel on this trip around the bases. He's at third base with 1 out. And now Madison is forced to bring their infield up with a full count to Ben Brantley. Tying runs 90 feet away for the Rivets here with 1 out in the 7th. And a huge payoff pitch upcoming. Montilva set at the belt. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Brantley comes up empty on the outside offering. First strikeout for Montilva and 2 down in the 7th. Manager Johnny Scott is out. You've got a righty coming to the dish and Nick DeMarco, and they're going to take the baseball away from Montilva, who does his job here in the 7th. Retires a tough lefty bat in Brantley. Got the locked-in hitter in McDonald out, and through 2/3 of a frame, as Madison in possession to get out of the 7th. But Rockford's got the tying run 90 feet away. We'll get the pitching change when we come back here on the Rivets Baseball Network. New Mallards arm is Bryce Woody. Shutdown arm in the back of this Mallards bullpen, put in a big spot here. Has only given up 2 earned runs all season, the same number of saves he possesses on his stat line. 13 and a third innings under his belt, 11 hits, just a 2 earned runs on 6 walks and 24 strikeouts. That's an ERA of 1.35. He's only given up 1 earned run in his last 3 outings that have spanned over 6 2/3. His first assignment, get out Nick DeMarco. The Notre Dame product comes into the righty box with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 2-1 Mallards lead. Rockford has the tying run on third base and Jeff Ince. First pitch, fastball is on the outside edge for strike 1. DeMarco did not like the call as the catcher Rivera had to reach way away from his body to snag that baseball. He looks down towards third base coach Vinny Tornincasa, who gives him a couple affirmative claps before he steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Woody aggressive fastball sits around 90 miles an hour. And you can see the home plate umpire has a couple of words for JT Scarra, who wasn't too happy with the call either on the top step of the Rivets dugout. A tough one to give a strike to there when you have your catcher breaking Foreman Rivera. But it's still given to DeMarco. 0-1. High leg kick in the pitch. Fastball is hit off the mound. Foul. Hit off home plate rather. So it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to DeMarco. Just his second game in the Northwoods League already in a big spot here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Fastball sits around 90 miles an hour for Woody. Also has a slider and a changeup. See what he goes to here. 0-2. Have to be careful with Ince over on third representing the tying run. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Beat him to a spot. DeMarco down swinging. Side is retired. Woody gets the K. First 2 outs gotten by Matilva in a fantastic effort from this Madison bullpen. Rockford kept off the board in the 7th. We stretch at the duck pond. 2-1 Mallards here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Seventh inning stretch festivities have concluded at the duck pond. Rockford is into their bullpen for the first time tonight. Rivets trail the Mallards 2-1 as Ryan Green, the righty at the University of Wisconsin at Concordia, the first arm here in his state where he plays his college ball, out of the Rivets bullpen. Really good outing from Tanner Knight. 6 effective innings, only allowed the 2 runs, both of which were unearned on 2 walks and a strikeout. Good outing for Knight. He threw in excess of 60 pitches for the first time in his Northwoods League career. The first time this season combined with his college ball at Louisiana Tech. Green features the full arsenal, but he's primarily fastball curveball. You'll notice him drop down to a sidearm angle at times with his off speed to keep hitters off balance. Also has the 3/4 and over the top release point for the fastball. We'll face Peyton Smith, 4-5-6. 2 up for the Mallards. Smith is 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Green is Blooped foul over towards the Rivets bullpen, out of play just above them. It's on the first base side. Smith is down on the count 0-1. It's Peyton Smith, Christian Rivera, and then Noah Smith, the scheduled hitters for Madison. They've continued to get deeper and deeper into their bullpen, have the Mallards, and they've gotten the outs when they've needed them to bridge this gap across. 2-1's hit on the ground towards third. It eats up to Marco, trying to recover in time. Bare hands throws. It's off the bag. Brantley was able to snag it and keep it in the field of play, but he drew his foot off the bag. What'll be an error on DeMarco as reaching on first base is Peyton Smith. Third Rockford error tonight. Their first since the first inning. And their first two immediately came back to haunt them in this game. We'll try to avoid that fate here as Christian Rivera, 0 for 2 today, steps up to the dish. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner as well for the DH Peyton Smith. So Donnie Scott unloading the bench to try to get this insurance run across. It's Estevan Moreno in his second Northwoods League game who will be used as the pinch runner. Moreno, a highly touted high school senior, and a big spot here representing the third run of the ball game. Gets an aggressive lead off of first base. He has all the tools in his pocket. We'll see if he's off here. First pitch down low from Green to Rivera. Righty on righty matchup. Rivera 0 for 2 tonight. Moreno set to play his college ball at Notre Dame in the fall should he not be selected in the MLB draft. Highly touted high school product made his debut in the Northwoods League yesterday. Green slings it sidearm back to first base. A head first dive back from Moreno. That's what you're going to get from Ryan Green. All kinds of arm slots, both on the mound and with his pickoff moves to try to keep his opponents honest. Extremely athletic on the bump. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball. This could be 2. Charging in the shortstop in. Flips the second for 1. Harding's relay to first in time. A double play. 6-4-3, second double play from the Rivets middle infield tonight. Already number 5 of the series for Rockford. 2 outs and the base is empty here in the 7th. And a big sigh of relief for Rockford. Not wanting that third run to cross the plate here late on in this game. Already steep enough mountain to climb against this Madison bullpen. First pitch is up and in to Noah Smith. 0 for 2 today, flew out to center field and grounded out to shortstop. Green works out of the windup, first base side. High leg kick in the delivery. Baker tried to pull up the breaking ball, but it's low, 2-0. Smith wiggles the bat off his right shoulder. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Green. Fastball on the outside edge. That outside edge has been given all night long from Jonathan Rector. Saw both sides be the benefactor of that in the last half inning. Green trying to use that to his advantage here. 2-1 on the way. Line shot, one hopper past the outstretched shortstop into center field for a base hit. Really well struck ball from Noah Smith, who's aboard with 2 down here in the 7th. Just the second Madison hit of the night, rather third, excuse me. Was 2 on Tanner Knight through his 6 innings of work. That'll bring up Elias Stevens, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and strikeout. Noah Smith now reached base in every game he's played this season. 18 of his first 43 plate appearances. He's 2 for 8 in the series as he leads off first base. Stevens still looking for his first hit as a Mallard as he takes tight for ball 1. Green dangles down the right arm, pins the glove to his left hip. Stooped over, his backside turned to the runner. Set below the belt, kicks and deals down low for ball 2. Haters count to Stevens. Rockford trying to keep the Mallards off the board here in the bottom of the 7th. They have 2 more ups to try to erase this 1-run deficit. Green's 2-0, swing and a miss. Bottomed out on the breaking ball to get back in the count to Stevens. Two runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Mallards. 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors for the Rivets. Next pitch is chopped third base side. It's foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two. Runner bluff steal. That was the first shot of sidearm from Green. It bled outside to Stevens, and the count goes to 3-2. He's trying to use that outside corner to get a call at strike 3. There is action up in the Rivets pen. See if this is Green's inning or not. Should an additional base runner reach in Stevens. 3-2 pitch is fouled straight back. Runner is off with the pitch. Of course, 3-2, 2 outs. Anything in the gap could give the Mallards a 3-1 lead. They elect not to hold on the runner here in Smith. Brantley playing behind him at first. He's in a sprinter stance. It's a 3-2. Swung on and missed. First strike 3. Big strikeout, Ryan Green. Scoreless inning in the 7th for Rockford. Rivets still trail 2-1 as we head to the 8th. You're on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 8th from the Duck Pond. Rivets running out of time. They trail 2-1 to the Madison Mallards. Looking for a big win to try to pull a game over 500 and keep the pace with Kalamazoo in the Great Lakes East Division. Bryce Woody stays on the mound for a second inning of work. We'll see if Madison rides him the rest of the way. Faces 4-5-6 in the Rockford lineup. Cy Crittenberger squares around, pulls back for strike 1 over the outside third. Crittenberger is 1 for 2 today. He struck out his last time up, also singled and walked tonight. Reached base in 7 of his 8 plate appearances in the series. 0-1 on the way from Woody. That's right over the heart of the plate for strike two. Another fastball. It's taken from Ty Crittenberger. Matthew Mebben behind him. Brody Harding, the third Rivet scheduled to hit here in the eighth. Just 7 combined hits in the ballgame. 4 of them have gone Rockford's way, but just the 1 run to show for it. Here's the pitch. Crittenberger takes a called strike 3. Ty seemed to think it was off the plate outside. That portion of the strike zone's been given by Jonathan Rector all night long. Woody, no stranger to being the benefactor of it there. As Crittenberger goes down looking for the first out. 3 straight strikeouts for this Mallards bullpen. And the biggest juncture of the game. Here's Matthew Mebben, 0 for 3 tonight. 1 hit in the series so far was a solo home run last night in the eighth. This one spun down the third base line, but it's foul. And a ground ball from Mebben. The count goes to 0-1. Mebben, lots of friends and family in attendance, as friends from his dad's side of the family that live in Madison. So despite being from the Atlanta area and Dublin, Georgia, and originating from South Carolina, there is a big pocket of Rockford yellow and black behind the Rivets dugout and cheering on Matthew Mebben. Cheered for his home run big time last night. This one's grounded to shortstop. Worm burner for Gonzalez, who's up with it just a couple strides away from the second base bag. As throw across the nab, Mebben for the second out of the eighth. 2 up, 2 down quickly for Rockford. And that brings up Brody Harding. 9-6 Kalamazoo in the bottom of the 6th inning. Growlers will pull 4 clear of Rockford if the current results hold. Traverse City takes down Kenosha as well. That's another big win in the grand juncture of things. It's tied at Capco Park between Lakeshore and Battle Creek right now. So everybody that could be gaining ground on Kalamazoo or holding serve potentially is losing right now, which means the Growlers could pull just 1 step closer. They could pull 4 games up with 5 games to play in the Great Lakes East. First pitch is high to Brody Harding. Harding, 0 for 1 today. He's walked in hit by a pitch. He takes upstairs again for 2-0. Again, Harding did homer towards the duck blind and down the right field line last night's game. A 4-2 win for the Rivets. 2 balls, no strikes. Hitters count here. Woody's pitch. Fastball inside out swing is corked foul to the third base side and out of play. Rivets trying to get it going. No base hits for Rockford since the 5th inning. Only 1 base hit since the 2nd. 2-1. Harding inside out swing. Diving stop from Smith. Gets back to his feet. Plenty of time to set them and throw. And it's up the line, but Stevens holds the bag in time to nab Harding. Noah Smith has been a vacuum over at third base in this series. He robs Harding of a base hit. And the Rivets go down in order here in the 8th. 1, 2, 3, the sides retired. 4 straight sat down from Bryce Woody in the back end of this Madison bullpen. 2-1 Mallards head to the bottom of the 8th after this on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th from Warner Park at the Duck Pond, 2-1. Mallards lead the Rivets, 8-9-1, due up. For Madison in the frame, it's a familiar face out there on the mound for the Rockford Rivets, but the first time they've seen him in a while. Zach Kemp making his long-awaited return to the mound, has not pitched in a week and a half for Rockford. Last pitched on June 14th against Battle Creek. This season, 4 earned runs allowed in 6 2/3, walking 8, striking out 13. He'll face JT Mabry, who is 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. First pitch is a fastball outside from Kemp. The Notre Dame right-hander came off his last outing in Battle Creek. A tough one to swallow. Gave up a grand slam against the first hitter he faced in that one, relieving starter Ryan Green. He's now relieving the reliever Green in this outing as Mabry fouls one back and the count goes to 1-1. 2 earned runs without recording an out in Battle Creek. Kemp's been having a situation with his release point off the mound where his right big toe will come open because of how much torque he pushes off the mound with. There's the curveball that's inside to Mabry, and the count's 2-1. So Kemp first tore his toe open in Kenosha, pushing off the mound in a save against the Kingfish. Then came back out at Rivets Stadium and re-aggravated it in that outing against Battle Creek and couldn't even stand on the mound. This is a sky-high pop-up. Sit out of play on the third base side. The count goes to 2-2. But Kemp was limping around the mound, couldn't regain his footing, couldn't even push off the mound because of the torque he was using and the pressure he put on that toe that had cut open. So he had to come out of the game and was since asked to stay off of it and let it heal for a week and a half, which is why he hasn't been pitching with Rockford until right now. First outing since then, 2-2, swing and a miss. Well, the curveball's on now. It drifts over the zone. Mabry casts his bat head out, comes up empty. First strikeout for Kemp, 1 down in the 8th. Kemp's a big arm at the back of this Rockford bullpen that if they can get him right with that toe, will be a huge asset. 2 saves already on the young season, a freshman that didn't see action this season for Notre Dame. 1 down in the 8th, 9-hole hitter Nick Gonzalez comes to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 2 today. First pitch curveball is a called strike 1. Kemp's going to continue to drop it in there until Madison makes the adjustment. No action right now in the Mallards bullpen. Would have to assume it's Woody's 9th inning. He already has a couple saves for the Mallards this season. Next pitch is outside, counts 1-1. You have the bottom third of your order due up if you're the Rivets. Baker, Robertson, and Ince. But Drew Baker's been swinging a little bit of a better stick as of late. Robertson has struggled tonight, but he's one of your more consistent bats usually, and Ince has reached base 3 times. So not your normal bottom third of the lineup. This is an inside-out swing on a fastball deposited into right field for a base hit. Outer third fastball. Gonzalez didn't miss it. Hard hit ground ball between Brantley and Harding on the right side of the infield. It's the 4th hit tonight for the Mallards and a 1-out base runner to turn over the lineup. Brings up the top of the lineup and roll on. Doubled and scored to lead off the game. Only runs Madison's gotten in this game have been off of Rockford errors in the first inning. Rivets came out flat. They've come out flat on the road more often than once this season. They've been able to come back a couple of times. This time, they might not be able to, and they might pay for their early transgressions. First pitch is a fastball, wild pitch from Kemp inside on roll on. Gets away from Baker, and Gonzalez is now into scoring position. Madison only scored 2 runs in the first inning off of Rockford errors. Other than that, it's been a clean game from this Rivets pitching staff, and all you can ask for from Tanner Knight, Ryan Green, and now Zach Kemp in this Rockford bullpen. But the offense hasn't been there, and the defensive woes plagued them again in this one. 1-0. Fastball outside, 2-0. Kemp won't have as much success with the curveball against a lefty bat, but he has been able to drop it in there in a 12-6 motion. Struck out Nick Guyanatone in Kenosha on a filthy curveball in his save against the Kingfish. 2 balls and no strikes to pitch. Fastball outside, 3-0. He's lost the feel for the heater here to the top of the Kenosha lineup. There is action in the Rockford pen should Kemp continue to struggle with his command. Got the 2-hole hitter and Brodell on deck. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Couple of weird outside pitches have been called strikes in this game. Roll on hesitated to chuck his bat aside, but it is ball 4. He's on first base off a 4-pitch walk. 2 on with 1 out. JT Scarra's out to talk to his right-hander, Zach Kemp. Scarra usually handles the pitching changes for Rockford, but this might be more of a talking to bolster his confidence here as Brodell set to step into the lefty box. Just the catcher Baker out there with him. That would tell you this is more an instructional visit from Scarra rather than pulling the plug on Kemp, making sure he feels okay. He gives him that vote of confidence. Kemp's going to keep the baseball and stay in this game. Two 2-1 Madison here in the 8th. Marcus Brodell is 1 for 3 tonight. Singled his last time up in the 6th. RBI chance out there for the South Florida Bull. Stuck on 9 for the season. He's got Gonzalez out at second, Roland over at first. 2-1 Mallards here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out, Zach Kemp trying to get out of a jam. Notre Dame righty against the left-handed bat from South Florida. Deep breath, and now the first pitch. Fastball way inside, and it barrels away from Baker again as he reached across his body to try to knock it down. Another wild pitch from Kemp, and now 2 in scoring position with 1 down. And now Rockford, we'll see if they bring the infield up here. There is only 1 out in the frame, but it looks like as of now, the corners are going to come up even with the bag, and the middle infielders are only going to come halfway. Now they are starting to jog forward. So they're a couple steps in front of the infield grass. Corners are in at the cutout. 1-0. Fastball hit on the ground to the second baseman. They hung up the runner at third. Harding looks him back and then fires the first. They throw back the second on the back pick, but it's not in time. Almost a heads-up play from Ben Brantley. The runner at second, Roland, got a little off the second base bag. They weren't able to get him on the back pick, but they do erase Brodell. And the strategy works for Rockford. Brought the middle infielders up halfway, then had them charge in on the pitch towards the grass. Harding was able to keep the runner at third, erase Brodell. There's 2 down. Still runners on third and second for Scott Shaw. Shaw's 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked twice, scored a run in the first. First pitch from Kemp. Check swing. Did he go? They appeal, and he did go around, according to Adam Morgan, third base umpire. Filthy curveball from Kemp. 0-1 the count. Kemp's trying to get out of a serious jam here in his first outing in over a week and a half. Gave the Rivets a chance with a run deficit in the 9th. 0-1, Kemp's head to the belt. Wild pitch is in play here, the pitch. Snaps a changeup right at the letters for strike 2. Shaw's baffled in the lefty box. Big zone tonight from Rector has been consistent on both sides. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kemp trying to get his team in the dugout in the 9th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball inside, good block from Baker. Threw his body in front of that one as it bounced in from Kemp on the breaking ball. Count goes to 1-2 on Shaw. Most importantly, the runners stay put. Got to have a lot of faith in your catcher to throw that pitch. Zach Kemp missed his spot, but still, trusty backstop and Baker keeps it out of harm's way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High leg kick in the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He got him. Went back to the curveball. Zach Kemp, 2 strikeouts in a scoreless frame in his return to Rivets action. Rockford's got a chance in the 9th. They trail by 1, 2-1, sending the bottom third of their order to the dish when we come back here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Last chance for the Rivets here in the 9th. They need a run to extend the game. 7, 8, 9 in the Rockford lineup. Starts with Drew Baker. As of right now, Robertson and Ince are still on deck for Rockford, so it is their normal bottom 3 in the lineup tonight. No pinch hitters showing face yet for JT Scara. Bryce Woody out for his 3rd inning of relief, looking for the 7-out save. Struck out DeMarco with 2 in scoring position in the 7th. Worked a 1-2-3-8. First pitch, swing and a miss from Drew Baker. Rivets catcher reached base twice tonight and also lined back sharply to the pitcher's mound. He's 1 for 2. 3 extremely good at-bats. Going to have to put in a shift here against Woody, who's been unhittable since coming in. 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball low and away. Taken from Baker. The count's even. Kalamazoo ahead right now in Fond du Lac. Rockford needs every win it can get in this first half race in the Great Lakes East. 3rd of 4 straight against the Mallards. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Rare off speed, but it's inside on Baker. Looked like it was dropped in right at the letters from Woody. It's been more of an outside zone tonight from Jonathan Rector behind the plate. So Baker takes, he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Woody a deep breath looking to bounce back. Here's a pitch. Fastball fouled straight back. Was knee high down the chute for Baker. He just missed it. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Nobody out here in the 9th. Rivets trail 2-1. Woody's delivery. Fastball popped up. First base side, Stevenson giving it a look, but it's in the seats, as is the right fielder, Brodell. Woody, no stranger for going deep into games. His last few outings, he has gone at least 2 innings of work. If he takes it the rest of the way, he'll be asked to go 2 1/3 here, but certainly not a problem for the hard-throwing right-hander. Baker's made him work for the first out here in the 9th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see a 7th pitch of this opening at-bat in the 9th. Deep breath in the pitch. Low and outside. Count goes full. Baker continues to battle at the dish. Robertson waits on deck. 0 for 3 tonight. It's 1 run on 4 hits for the Rivets tonight. Looking to ignite some offense in the 9th. Infield's all the way back for the Mallards. 3 balls, 2 strikes, a pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Just eludes the glove of the catcher, Rivera. Squeaks to the backstop. Count stays at 3-2. Next pitch will be the 8th of the AB. Baker making Woody work for it in the 9th. 3-2, nobody out, nobody on. 2-1 Mallards lead the Rivets. Woody dangles down the right arm. Now comes set at the belt on the first base side of the mound. Lifts his glove up high. High leg kick in the pitch. 3-2 fastballs fouled back again. And the catcher from Wright State continues to be persistent in the right-handed batter's box. Seen a much better version of Drew Baker offensively the last handful of games. 5 for his last 13. And a full count. He'll see pitch number 9 of the AB. As Woody comes set on the mound. Gets a sign from his catcher, Rivera. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off again. We'll see a 10th pitch of this battle. Baker's fouled off fastball after fastball. You wonder how much Woody trusts the off speed. Slider's his primary out pitch. Also has a changeup. Dangles the right arm. Rocks it back and forth off his right hip. Now he comes set. Baker in the righty box. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Woody wins the 10-pitch battle. Got him with a fastball on the outer third. Slightly elevated in the zone. It's Woody's 3rd strikeout. The fans ringing cowbells, stomping on bleachers here at the Duck Pond. There's one down in the 9th. Big first down. These Madison faithful can taste victory in the air. Rockford trying to battle back. It's Dylan Robertson into the left-handed batter's box. Robertson's 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts and a fielder's choice. First pitch to him. Swing and a foul tip. 0-1 to Robertson. Lost a season-high 6-game hitting streak last night. Looking to bounce back here tonight. From Iowa Western Community College, set to join Missouri State. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. He's looked uncomfortable in that lefty batter's box all night long. Slightly pulling out with his front foot. He's pulled off a lot of fastballs, and Woody has no doubt taken notice. We'll see if he goes back with the heater here, 0-2. Robertson's going to have to fight with 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs. He takes 1-2. Not a lot of options on the Rivets bench tonight either, as you see Jeff Ince wait on deck. Thaxton Birch no longer with the team. You have Johannes Hawkinson and Colton Klein along with Brandon Bannon are your only bench bats tonight for Rockford. 1-2. Robertson takes inside on the fastball. Tucking out of the way. The count's back even at 2-2. Ince has been good on deck tonight. He's reached base in all 3 plate appearances. Right now, all the focus on Robertson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Rivera had to catch it on the short hop, so he throws down to first to complete the strikeout. 4 strikeouts for Bryce Woody. Rockford's down to their final out in this one. Last hope for Rockford's Jeffrey Ince. Switch hitter from Louisiana Tech. Brandon, Mississippi native, will bat from the left side. Single tonight from the right side. Also walked and reached on an error. First pitch to him. Fastball over the outside edge. Called strike 1. Rockford's been treading water around the 500 mark for the last week or so now. They've had some opportunities to get back into the Great Lakes East. They have squandered them, and now a chance at a playoff spot might be slipping away. Here's the 0-1. Still a long season ahead. You got the whole second half of the campaign. I'm sure Madison thinking that right now as well. The Mallards trying to come into form here towards the end of the first half of the season. Got a really good arm in the back of their bullpen trying to close this one out. 1-1 the count to Ince. Pitch from Woody. Just low on the off speed. Counts 2-1. Catcher Rivera signaling he liked the spot, pointing back to his pitcher on the mound. If Ince is to reach for a 4th time tonight, he'd represent the tying run for Cam McDonald in the on-deck circle. 2-1. Inside 3-1. Prime hitters count here for Ince. Already has a single tonight. Woody, first time falling behind a hitter here in the 9th. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. Swung on, blooped into shallow left field. The shortstop Gonzalez comes out, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Ince tried to fight it the other way. Gonzalez had the range to get over. The Mallards take it 2-1 tonight at the Duck Pond. Tough one for Rockford to swallow. Another night of defensive miscues, and Madison capitalized. 2 Rivets errors in the bottom of the first inning, plated 2 Madison runs, and that's all it took for the Mallards to take this one. Hard luck lost to Tanner Knight, drops to 1-2 on the season. He struggles in that one. Justin Miller, really effective 2 innings of relief, and really the story all about the Mallards bullpen shutting down this Rivets offense. Justin Miller, 2 scoreless in relief of Leroy. He'll get the win. And a 7-out save for Bryce Woody, his 3rd save of the season. Important game in Rockford tomorrow. Rivets trying to salvage a split of this 4-game set. I'm Andre Maguero signing off tonight on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Once again, our final, Madison 2, Rockford 1. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your